everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ian is a Weirdo. Today I'm going to be doing something. I mentioned in Army of Weirdos that I've been watching a lot of Faded Wildflower Crochet here on YouTube, and she posted a video where she is doing a crochet creator tag where you answer a few questions and then you tag some other creators. Now, I don't think she has any idea who I am, so that's fine. She tagged some really fantastic crocheters, but I thought that I would continue it and then pass it along to some folks that I know and keep this trend going. I haven't done one of these tags for a while, and so some of the questions I think are really common in what we see in crochet tags, how did you get started, things like that. But I think when you get new people to your channel, that's kind of one of the things that they ask first is, how did you start? So this is a good opportunity to get to know whoever is tagged and does the video. And I think it's fun to do. It's just something that kind of breaks up the kind of whatever type of videos you do, it's nice to break it up and try something different. So I'm going to start answering the questions, and then in the description I'm going to tag a couple people. I can't tag every single crochet creator on YouTube that I love because there's just too many of them, and that's not blowing smoke up anyone's ass. It's a true comment. I love a lot of crochet creators. I'm going to tag a handful and then hopefully it continues to spread, just like with her tagging. So I am going to get started with the questions and stop babbling because I don't really know how to transition into doing things. So the first question is, how did you learn to crochet? So before I crocheted, I used to knit. I learned how to knit in like a Michael's class when I was, I don't know, like 13, 14, something like that. It was something I did with my mom. And so, kind of, over several years, I would like pick up knitting needles and like knit a little bit, and then I would like abandon my project. So I don't know if I'm sure I finished maybe one knitting project in my whole life. But as I became disabled, I started to get more into crafting because I needed something to fill my time. And so I was in a residential treatment facility, getting help in residential. Like you're there all the time, kind of under the watchful eye of nurses, and doctors and whatnot. And so I had some yarn. I had my like bamboo circular knitting needles, and there was really just like beautiful soul uh, there. She was like probably like in her mid 70s, and she like saw me knitting, and she said, "Oh, I used to crochet. It was like a long time ago. I don't remember how to do it, and I wish I could do it again." And I was like, "Oh, why not now? Like we have so much time on our hands." So I ordered like a cheap set, like an $8 set of crochet hooks, and the ones that are all aluminum and like the cheapest options out there. And we just like I was like, what do you want to make? And she wanted to make a slouchy hat. I will try to find a picture and put it here. If I can't find it, then just pretend you're seeing a slouchy hat. And we watched that video over and over and over again, trying to figure out how to crochet, and we taught ourselves how to crochet with that video. And honestly, once I did that, like no pun intended, I was hooked. I loved it. I don't like I maybe have like touched my knitting needles once since I started to crochet. Um, so so yeah, that's how I did it. Someone else wanted to learn how to do it, and I love trying new crafts, so I was like, why not? And it was, kind of one of the best things that, could have happened in that time. So really thankful for that experience. What's your favorite thing to crochet? Well, I guess like in general, this is the next question. What's your favorite thing to crochet? I think in general, I like variety, and I don't like doing the same thing over and over again if I can help it. So really, like if the answer could be like a bunch of different things, then that would be the answer. I really like my favorite thing to crochet is something is finding something that was not meant to be a crochet project, making it a crochet project. You know, making something. I'm just gonna like find. I don't know, like here's a beauty blender or like a Real Techniques blender. So it's like crocheting one of these, like I don't know, like something about that. Um, is just really cool to me. And taking objects that aren't crochet and making them crochet just really challenges my mind, but it also is so cute and novelty. Like I think probably the answer overall is like tchotchkes. Like I just love things that don't really have a purpose. They're just kind of cool and cute or weird and stupid. That's kind of my favorite thing. I also really love weird and stupid things like the rat pattern that I'm currently doing. Yeah, things like that. The next question is if you could only use one yarn for the rest of your life, what would it be? My answer is an acrylic anti-pilling yarn. I like Lion Brand, and I also like the Premier anti-pilling. So either of those options, I mean, the Premier one does have more color options, but they're just so much easier to work with. And they look great, they feel great on the hook, and I love um, anytime I get the opportunity to work with the anti-pilling yarn, I'm just like, okay, this is gonna make my life just like that much easier when I make something. And it's not that other acrylic, I work with a lot of value yarns, and like it's not that those value yarns are bad or anything like that. But when you take that step into anti-pilling, for some reason it just feels so nice. So yeah, it would definitely be an anti-pilling. Um, Weirdest thing I've ever made? That's a pretty tough question because I make a lot of weird things. Like, I think that's kind of my thing to make weird things. I got this pattern for a smaller knitting machine for a phallic object. And for some reason, I also decided to put eyes on it, like little crocheted eyes out of embroidery thread. I will try to find you like it's on like TikTok or something. I'll try to find that. If not here, then somewhere. Yeah, that one was weird. Also in that, so I did a set where I had penises, vulvas, and buttholes all on the knitting machine. So that was probably like a weird set of things to do. But I thought they were hilarious, and I thought people would have fun with them. Can't sell them on Etsy for the most part, and then also I think that people just didn't get the idea that there's just kind of like a pranky, like fun thing. But it's not everyone's cup of tea. But I make weird stuff all the time, so that's fine. um, the next question is something you'll never crochet. Uh, Probably a granny square blanket is at the very, 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 very top of the list. Specifically, like one with smaller granny squares that you sew all together. That sounds like my personal hell. So I would rather never ever do that and do anything else. Working pretty much most blanket, like, you know, bed size blankets, are on that list. Even throws, I don't like doing, and I'm working on two right now, which is a very weird sensation because I'm like, oh my gosh, one round takes like a million hours, and I'm not even remotely close to the edge. So blankets aren't my thing, but that's why other people love blankets. You know, we all of us together, we 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 can get everything anything done, but that's just not my thing. I wish I had the patience for it, but I lose interest and passion really quickly. Cool. So the next question is, where do you get your inspiration? This is a wonderful question. Um, and I feel like I just kind of get it anywhere. It could be social media. It could be just like, if I have something that I really like, I'm trying to think of something that, you know, I like. I could see yarn that looks like my cat and be like, I need to make a cat amigurumi of my cat now. Or like I could see this really cool shaped lamp, probably not a lamp, but something that inspires me, and so I feel like if it's kind of quirky, or the stitches to make it, or like how to make it, would be kind of interesting challenge. That's one of the things that would inspire me. Also, like one of the things I want to do soon is do a bunch of dolls that are like queer icons, and so trying to make dolls right now is really inspiring to me. Hasn't always been, but right now I think that that's a big inspiration for me. But like I said, like if I have like a favorite like perfume or cologne. Like I don't wear either, but like if I had that and it had a really interesting bottle, like I might try to crochet that. Like those types of things, like just inspire me. Also, if I'm scrolling and I see a pattern that's free, that's really cute and simple, I'll just throw that in Army of Weirdos and our Facebook group, and hope to make that. So free patterns, if they're free, that's always a plus, not having to make it yourself. Okay, so the next one is a little bit challenging for me. Favorite thing you've made so far this year? I have not had a ton of time this year to crochet, unfortunately. Um, but I would say, I loved making these hats. They are so cute. I made one in rainbow colors. This is the Big Twist Living Yarn, and the rainbow pride color, and then this is the lesbian pride color, which just like, works up really beautifully. Um, the pattern I love. I'll link the pattern in the description. But I did a sale on my Packers on my Etsy in February, I think, and I shared that sale to a trans man group on Facebook, and I think I must have made like around 40 Packers. Like, I did not make a lot of money from doing it. Like, I think I sold 40 Packers, and then, like, at the end of the day, with Etsy, like, charges and everything, I think I made like $27 off the whole thing. So it was a hot mess, and that doesn't include like having to get all the yarn and stuff like that, because I didn't factor that in. So honestly, I probably lost money doing that, but so many people had reached out to me in the process, whether before, during, or after, and talked to me about how they were feeling about their gender, how this packer could make them feel more secure and more euphoric in their gender, and then also people who had received it and were like, this is great, I feel so good, this, thank you so much. Like, I received a ton of gratitude for making these packers, and um, I don't like, I'm not here to like live for the applause when I make things like that. However, the idea that I can make something with my hands and help people feel good was just incredible. It was an incredible feeling, and to have just a huge influx of people um, who get to feel good about themselves. It was just an amazing experience. So uh, it was tough to like lose money on that, but honestly, like that's the kind of the least of my worries. I'm just glad that people got what they wanted, and I was able to help people feel good, at least by their account. So that's my favorite thing from this year. It was very special. Um, Okay, next, crochet plans you're excited for the future. There's a ton. I'm working on some projects. Crystal hooked that yarn, and I are gonna. We were talking about doing a Halloween cowl, crochet along. If that's what cowl stands for. So we were talking about doing that, and so that's one thing. And then also once I get time and you know, honestly, like I have gotten to the point where I don't do projects that I'm not excited for unless like it's a commission. Anything else, I just kind of like if I'm gonna make something, I'm not gonna make something for just for the sake of for making it. Like the queer icons dolls, like to me, like that's super exciting. So I'm really excited about those and really putting new things I've learned about crochet to the test, and also pattern writing. That's something that's really fun as well, and challenging, to kind of make sure you're communicating well to the reader. Worst thing about crochet, um, I think that uh, it is for me, and this is something that's hard, is that I crochet very slow, and there are so many people who can make the exact same things as me, and sell them for cheaper because they take a lot less time for them. So that the competition aspect of like selling, if you're selling, I think is a little bit tricky. But also wanting to be innovative or like writing patterns and kind of like sometimes like I worked on a pattern that was working on for like 2 years, and then like still wasn't quite finished. So that really sucked. So, sometimes you work on something and then you put all this time into it and it just is a flop. I have a witch's hat that I made in one of the Halloween yarns from Big Twist, and I tried to steam block it, and it just ended up super floppy, and it like I'm gonna have to frog the whole thing, and or at least a lot of it, and try again because the yarn got stretched out, so it just flopped. So doing a lot of work, having to redo it. Not my favorite things. Now the last question, my favorite things about crochet. I think I love the fact that crochet, despite the idea that it is like a solitary, lonely, lonely old lady thing to do, I think that could not be further from the truth in my experience. Um, like I have connected with tons of people, both in person and online through crochet, and then I also feel like I just, feeling inspired, feeling like I can make something, feeling like all of these things. I mean, there's so much that's great about crochet, but I love the connection to people that I get that I don't think I would have ever expected a craft to do. And I don't think I've ever done a craft that is as connecting to other people as crochet, which is why I think tags like this are so great because it shows just how um, connecting of an activity this could be. So thank you so much, the faded wildflower. Sorry, it's I always want to say wallflower instead of wildflower, so that's why I kind of like trip up on the name. But the faded wildflower. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm gonna tag her as well. If you haven't checked out her videos, they're so good. I'm so like I just am having so much fun watching her videos. I'm pretty new to her channel, and I'm really happy that I found it. So definitely check out her videos if you want to watch some more crochet videos. And if you get tagged, feel free to make a video. If you did not get tagged, you can still make a video. I didn't get tagged. Nobody tagged my ass, but you can do this video as well. The questions will be in the description below. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.